bit of backstory for you. The UK, very haunted country. If you haven't seen it, last week we released a Wacky Weekend episode with Connor, Sea Dog voice actor, and Joseph the animation man. And in that video, we went to some haunted locations. Basically what happened was, I knew I wanted to do something with them in the UK, and I didn't know what. Basically, and because the only day I could film with Joey and Connor was the Queen's Jubilee, everything that was good, like all the cool stuff that I wanted to do, was either fully booked or closed. And so I was really scrambling for ideas. I'm like, we've got this Wacky Weekend with Joey and Connor, I need to do something. And then I struck upon that you can sleep in a church, you can sleep in a prison. Somebody actually recommended me on Patreon, I think, to go to a church, and I took that idea and I stole it and I ran with it. Well, in the video, Joey and I are like, wouldn't it be trippy if, our viewers saw something in the background of the video, as has happened a few times actually while doing this. And they did. Quite a lot of viewers sent me photos and screen grabs of two specific moments in the Wacky Weekend, and we're going to look at it now. So here we go. This is the haunted video. There's two moments in this video that apparently you can see a ghost or something ghostly. The big one is at 26:15, so let's skip ahead there. There's Joey. Man, I'll tell you now though, fuck me, these locations were scary. The real horror is this, right? You think ghosts are scary? Look at this shit. Look at that. Fucking hell. Never have I seen anything quite as alarming, quite as frightening as that. But back to this. So we met at Stonehenge. We went to Shepton Mallet Prison. Shepton Mallet is the most haunted prison in the UK, allegedly the most haunted prison in the world. I thought there would be like actual beds. I thought there'd be like a bunk bed or something in there. It wasn't. It was just a metal lattice bed and the floor. And unfortunately for Joey, he got the floor, but he's younger than me, so it's all right. His back can take the damage. We'd had like a little tour around the place, and someone was like, "Who's staying in cell number 9?" And Joey and I were like, "Yeah, it's us." And somebody was like, "Well, that's one of the most haunted cells, one of the most active cells, because somebody tragically took their own lives in it and killed themselves." And that was like, oh, I don't know if I want to stay here now. Even during the daytime, this prison is insanely unpleasant and uncomfortable. It's got, I think, 4 huge wards, A, B, C, D, and there were about 20 people staying in this hotel. And I keep saying hotel. There were 20 people staying in this very much not a hotel, in this prison. As soon as we left the ward where everyone was sleeping and went into this ward here, everyone disappeared. Dead silence. Massive prison, right? Even with 20, 30 people there. There's 3 stories here of cells. You can go in each and every one of the cells. You could just wander in. So we walked around, and then it got to night time, and in between the walk around at night and the bit where Joey and I explored it when it was still light, we had a tour, and we were told about the ghost of the White Lady, which is a woman who had killed her husband, who had cheated on her. She went to prison, and then in the prison they actually executed people. And the night before she was due to be executed, she wanted one thing, and that was her wedding dress. So they gave her the wedding dress. She shut the door. Next morning they went in, and she had killed herself, although they sort of changed the story. So they said that she had died of a broken heart, which I think is bollocks. I think she actually just killed herself. Anyway, she died, and about 100 years later, in the 1970s, there were lots of sightings of this shadow, this spectre, the White Lady, going around prison. And it wasn't just like the prisoners trying to be a bit sneaky and clever, trying to get out of prison, like, oh, there's a ghost in here, let me out early, get me on parole. It was like, there were so many sightings. Even the prison wardens themselves were like, yeah, I don't want to work here now. I won't do the night shift. Give that to Dave instead. I'll do the day shift. And like the British government were like, what the fuck, guys? Why aren't you patrolling the prison? Why is everyone scared? They commissioned an investigation. And while their results were conclusive, that in itself is pretty insane. The British government, like, commissioning an investigation to see if there's a fucking ghost. That in itself is crazy. But what they did find was that the White Lady was a real woman who had lived and died in the cell, and that story was true. Anyway, while Joey and I were in the ward where she had died and where she was said to be seen, Joey started retelling the story of the White Lady, and if you look in the footage, And it's really uncomfortable. You can actually see something in the background. If you look down the corridor, it's like a white figure. Honestly, it reminds me of the woman out of The Grudge, or The Ring a little bit, which isn't good. I wasn't actually looking down the corridor, and it wasn't until I got loads of comments from you guys and viewers saying, "Oh, what the fuck is that at 26:45?" And there wasn't any mannequins or anything like that there. There were mannequins in the prison, but this was like a big ward with no mannequins. It was just an empty corridor, right? I just realised what the clip I've stopped it on of Joey's face. I think that should have been the thumbnail for the video. Maybe would have got twice the views. It looks like Joey with a Tenga. But anyway, I don't know if I can like enhance 300%, like Blade Runner. Like, let's see if I can blow it up a bit. I'm looking at the comments now. People like, I don't see it. I'm blind. You're a dickhead, Chris. Go to bed. I hate you. But no, like, look there. Right, it's exactly in the middle of the frame now, right? Does it not look like somebody sitting on the floor with their head drooped down? Look. It could be I could be wrong. It could be a box. It could be a sack of potatoes. It could be, I don't know, but like that looks like a figure of some sort. And I got some comments saying like, "Oh, Chris, did you hire someone in the background to sit there?" No, I didn't. I didn't hire anyone. Ask Joey. We went there very impromptu. I only booked it a few days beforehand. I don't know if I'm not a guy good enough or interesting enough to like book to have some people come there and be extras. In hindsight, that would have been fucking amazing, having some extras in the church, in the prison, jumping out with Joey and Connor, giving them a heart attack. Would have been, pretty fucking good. I didn't do that. This isn't staged. Again, look, this is the last time I'm going to show you. The comments are like, "Chris, I see it. You're not insane. Thank you very much." There. Look at that. What? There's something there, right? Anyway, and it's important to say that I'm not a superstitious person. I don't believe in paranormal things. I just try to get to the objective reality of it. There's something clearly there in the corridor. Probably not a ghost. It's weird how like later on the video it's just gone as well. So certainly when Joey and I went in the corridor, there was nothing there. There was nothing there. And again, there it is. A ghost, not a ghost. A woman on the floor. Let's go back now. Oh my god, the real horror. It was here all along, worse than any ghost. Sea Dog VA at night. So the thing that people saw, there was 2 shots I wanted to keep running while we were asleep. I had it like on a timer for like an hour or 2. I couldn't leave the camera rolling all night long. So I filmed for about an hour with the GoPro, and this is the Sony filming Connor and I. Again, a ridiculous shot. It looks like the end of the world. Connor and I breaking into a church for a good night's sleep whilst like trying to outrun some zombies. In the centre of the frame, at about 14:10, people say you can see some sort of orb. So look at the centre of the frame, and I'll blow the video up in a minute. There. Anybody see that? Anybody see it? It's so brief. There it goes. Now let's zoom in. I know what the most the scientific folks among us, which I'd like to include myself in, cynical bastards. God, what a horrible shot. I look so awful, so bloated there. Terrible shot. I wish I could crop me out of this shot, but I can't. 3, 2, 1. There. Anybody see that? In these like paranormal things, people are like, "Oh, it's a ghost, it's a ghost." I think it's a piece of dust, because you can see it sort of drift into frame. There. When I saw this first time, I thought maybe it's because I've moved, right? And maybe I've moved some dust or changed the air pressure or something. Because I'm that big, I can change the air pressure all by myself. I don't know. Honestly, still not as unsettling as, the sight of waking up to this. Nothing will be as bad as that. That is the real horror here. Sea Dog VA's face in the morning. I've never seen him look that bad. Credit where it's due. But there you go.